Designer ruined his own career.
Is how Desiigner took a career full of potential and ran it into the ground. But considering how strange his come up was, he shouldn't have been shocked it couldn't last. When Desiigner was only 18, Kanye West put his rap career on the map. How did Kanye become interested in some random teenage rapper? You see, in December 2015, Desiigner dropped Panda, and it got a ton of buzz, hitting around 1 million plays. Desiigner was already feeling pretty hype about his success. Things would get better for him because out of nowhere, he got a call from someone he never could have predicted, Kanye West. Can you?
I ain't gonna lie, when that song like Panda came out, I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was Future, like, cause Designer that sound like Future, you know, kind of sound like Future. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And that Panda song, I never liked the Panda song, bro. Like, I just never liked it, bro. It was getting overplayed, bro. Overplayed OD, bro. Like, no funny shit. But I like his other songs, though. Like Outlet and the one he featured with Gucci Mane and all that.
Imagine being a teenage rapper and having Kanye ask you to sample your song? That had to be a dream come true for Desiigner, and it was crucial for helping his career take off. Panda was big before, but after it was sampled on Life of Pablo, it went from a 1 in a million to $1 million track. Soon after, Kanye signed Desiigner to his label, Good Music. At the time, Desiigner had to think he just signed a ticket to a long, prosperous career. I mean, he'd linked up with Kanye, got signed to a label, and was touring and making fans. But it soon turned out Panda and signing with Kanye would set him up for his downfall. You see, the problem is that Desiigner was basically a kid when he got thrown into the music industry. He didn't know what direction to take in his career or really what he was doing. Desiigner was really just playing everything by ear. A massive hit like Panda combined with a lack of direction is the recipe for a one-hit wonder. Just look at Fetty Wap or Blueface. But Desiigner shouldn't have that issue, right? He had his label and Kanye to guide him, so he should have been fine. Turns out, being signed by Good Music wasn't the blessing it was chalked out to be.
I had signed to Kanye West, the biggest nigga. That nigga's calling the warrior. I think he's the genius. I think all that shit. But to me, that's crazy, nigga. And to me, nigga, I've been doing all this shit by myself. To me, I brought Good Music back. And everybody know that. So what y'all talking about? I fell off. I only dropped 2 mixtapes, bro.
Yeah, so if it isn't clear yet, Designer's deal with Good Music didn't exactly work out. So what went wrong? Well, there were several issues. The first is that Kanye signed them on a whim. He heard Panda, wanted to use it on his album, but I don't think he had a broader plan for Designer. This led to an awkward dynamic where Designer was hungry and always looking for the next step, but the label was either disinterested or holding him back. Good Music was apparently holding him back from releasing a ton of new songs. He complained publicly on Twitter when things were reaching a boiling point. And honestly, I get where he's coming from. He had some solid follow-up releases in 2016 that showed he didn't need to be a one-hit wonder. But 2 years into signing with Good Music, his discography was a mess. With the exception of a feature with BTS, Designer never had a single hit the Hot 100 again after 2016. After 2016, he also pretty much stopped releasing mixtapes and longer projects. According to Designer, he had tracks ready to release that the label was making him hold on to. Any of those releases could have been possible hits and added more life to his career. So while Designer trashing his own label on Twitter was definitely unprofessional, I see where he was coming from. What is an artist supposed to do when it feels like their own label is holding them back? To Designer, it felt like he had no other option but to take control back. That's why he ended up leaking his own album. Fans saw Designer's frustration and sympathized, but what about Good Music? How they, and especially Kanye, feel about being disrespected publicly by their own artist? While they never put out a statement, it's obvious they were displeased. Designer would be released from his contract the following month, and Kanye hasn't spoken of him since. First off, I gotta say that he was mishandled by Good Music, but I can't pretend they're the only reason he never took off. Designer has always been a very inconsistent artist. Just look at what this review had to say about his mixtape.
This tape is almost pointless. Almost nothing good on this tape. A few interesting things here and there, but the potential that I thought Desiigner might have, it's not presenting itself here.
Was that critic going too hard on him? Well, the fact is, Desiigner's fans mostly agree his mixtape was trash, and his singles got a similarly mixed reception. One fan reviewing his mixtape remarked, "The songs Desiigner makes are either very good or ridiculously bad, in my opinion. Nothing in between." And I think he's right. Good music wasn't great to Desiigner. They held him back and just didn't give him the guidance he needed. But at the same time, his music was underwhelming. Desiigner lacked consistency and quality, so of course his listeners dwindled. Looking at his Spotify numbers, you can see the exact point in 2018 when his fans lost interest. He went from getting millions of listeners in 2016 to not even hitting 10,000 in 2018. Regardless of whose fault Desiigner's stagnation was, he left good music and dropped his first single independently of them in November 2019. The track didn't do terribly, but it was nothing compared to the views he used to get. It was gonna take some time to rebuild, but it seemed like Desiigner was still committed to making it in the rap game, at least until what happened a few weeks ago. And it's no secret that Desiigner has mental health issues. He became famous when he was
I heard about what happened. Like, said Desiigner, he was playing with himself, you know. I think on a plane or some shit like that.
Still basically a kid, and he had a career widely thought of as disappointing. Desiigner was always going to have issues. He even admitted that he hoped Kanye would act as a mentor, not just musically, but emotionally when he signed with him.
Because the reason why I left it is because, you know, I was going through like a little mental thing. I was coming up out of high school. My pops was waiting to call me. I just wanted to have somebody that, you know what I mean, like that big brother stuff at the same time as being in the label.
When he didn't get that, it put him in a bad place. I think that's part of why his falling out with good music was so public and so angry. Desiigner's mental health was deteriorating, and that affected his actions. Then when Takeoff passed, that made everything so much worse. When Desiigner found out,
Damn, I didn't. Nah, I remember like that video that I watched, the live that I watched of him, of Desiigner. He was so hurt. Like that Takeoff like passed away like that, you know. But I didn't know like him and Takeoff was close like that. Like they was locked in, they was like close, like they was like best friends or some shit like that. That was his man, you know. But yeah, bro, rest in peace to Takeoff, by the way.
just fell apart.
I'm done. I can't live like this no more.
Desiigner lost someone close, and he felt like he should just walk away from music, period. After a few months, Desiigner decided not to quit rapping and come back to the game. But considering what would happen next, maybe quitting would have been better for him.
On April 7, 2023, Selby obscenely and indecently exposed his genitals and masturbated in a public place. He said he was...
He exposed his stuff. Like, he exposed himself. Like, nah, you can't be doing that shit. Like,
break hard when he got on the
Desiigner got caught exposing himself on a plane 3 different times. He was asked to stop multiple times by flight attendants, and then he was moved to the back of the plane so he could be watched by his friends. Once the plane landed, he got snatched up by authorities. And what did he tell them? Desiigner explained that he didn't really get much cootie during his visit to Japan. Yikes. Well, this is a terrible look. There is more to this story. Desiigner released a public statement on Twitter explaining what went down. For the past few months, I have not been okay, and I have been struggling to come to terms with what is going on. While overseas for a concert I performed at, I had to be admitted to a hospital. I was not thinking clearly. They gave me meds, and I had to hop on a plane home. I landed back in the States, and I'm admitting myself to a facility to help me. I will be canceling all my shows and any obligations until further notice. Mental health is real, guys. Please pray for me. If you're not feeling like yourself, please get help. This is a messy situation. Firstly, we shouldn't let Desiigner dodge the consequences of his actions due to his mental health issues. While it's good that he's getting the help he needs, that doesn't change the fact that he exposed himself to an entire flight of people. The police don't intend to let that slide, and neither should we. Desiigner will be facing charges and punished for his actions. I think it's good that he's taking time off of his music to get a grip because he clearly needs
needs that. But at the same time, what happens to his career? He's been slowly rebuilding things since he left good music. And now he's got a permanent stain on his career and on hiatus for God knows how long. I think that him taking a break from his music is the right decision, but it's obvious his career is going to take another hit. Will his fans stand by him during this time? Desiigner entered the music world so young and full of passion, so it's sad to see how things turned out for him. Is he going to be able to shake off this scandal and come back stronger than ever? Or will this be the last time we ever hear about him?
Okay, that's the vid, bro. So yeah, bro. Do you think like Desiigner could come back from this like incident that he had on the plane, bro? On the like airport or some airport, like and. Comment down below. What is your favorite Desiigner song, bro? And me personally, I like Outlet. You know, that. I like the first half of Outlet. You know, I like Outlet. You know, but fucking yeah, bro. Like, just comment down below what's your favorite Desiigner song. Alright, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. So if you're checking out, you are.